live from New York.
It is Saturday.
It's Saturday morning.
It's Saturday morning.
We have never been here this early.
We haven't.
I'm
Also,
surprised.
I'm
me too.
running off of 3 hours of sleep.
Why?
Because I'm an insomniac who had a coffee at 4 p.m. yesterday, and I also was playing Animal Crossing.
Do you see this coffee in frame? There was a coffee before that.
Oh, I'm constantly caffeinated. That should be my title on Animal Crossing.
Constantly caffeinated. Bro, get a grip.
Oh, I cannot. I'm
know,
losing all sense between everything that's happened like in the last 2-3 weeks. I'm just gonna ride this wave.
Do it a la Lady Gaga style.
Club. No
Next
sleep.
club.
Another club. Next club.
No, except for
sleep.
you, it's
I
like...
can't do it right.
No. Except for you, it's like village, next happy home paradise. I'm so sorry to anyone that doesn't play Animal Crossing. This might all get cut out, quite honestly. I just started decorating yesterday. I could see this going terribly for me. I could see me losing sleep.
You too could be
Mama.
running off of 3 hours of sleep and some coffee.
And a
In
prayer.
My other nighttime job for Galactic Hunter, I swear to you, I took my 3DS with me all the time to go imaging at night. Because honestly, what we do is we set up the telescope, just let it run. And so me and Antoine are there by ourselves in the middle of the desert, no service, and I'm just like da 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 da. And then there's these other songs that were playing, and I can't remember them right now, but they were so iconic. I could probably trigger him if I sang the song loud enough.
His sleeper agent code.
Oh my god, that's a trope that I really love, and I don't see it enough, is sleeper agent activation. I love that stuff so much.
You know
That's
what?
your
You're
next
right.
book.
I can't say I have seen that very much because that's very niche.
It's so niche, but I love when it's done.
I often think what my sleeper agent code would be, or my special words that I haven't heard in a specific string.
Spicy chicken biscuit. Which we had this morning, but we had to pay homage to you today because we're just the three of us today.
Yes. So Sky's not here. We finally ate her.
Honestly,
She's just so small.
She was
We're
so small.
actual cannibals now.
We finally did it, everyone. We said we'd get to 150
we
followers.
did it, Joe. Joe, we
Joe.
did it.
We get to 150, and we said we'd eat one of us.
So, the shortest of us drew the short straw.
Ooh. If you didn't want it to be Sky, we're so sorry, but
We're so
it has
sorry.
been done.
I didn't want it to be Sky. Who else is going to laugh at my jokes?
True.
It's just going to be
true.
silence
I
now.
laugh at your jokes, though.
If Dahlia goes,
Yeah, okay.
I just have to kill you.
Yeah, so this is the thing with our dynamic. Antonio just stares at me in exasperation, and Bedalia smiles at me like she's proud of me when I make a joke.
But Sky's the only one that will egg you on.
It will enable me in my bad behavior.
You know, I think about this a lot. One of the reasons I don't ever remember anything is it's because when you two talk, I just have to zone out into another dimension.
We know. We can see it in your eyes.
You're like, I wonder what my villagers are doing when I'm not playing.
Fucking really, I am. Sometimes I'm like, I would rather be there.
Hey y'all, welcome to Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. My name's Dahlia.
I'm Antonio,
And I'm Ketzel.
and we're just 3 New York City police detectives caught up in a terrorist takeover who watch movies that everyone else has watched, except one of us is a loser who hasn't. Today, we're watching a movie that, just like Nightmare Before Christmas, begs the question, is it truly a Christmas movie? Die Hard, released in 1988, directed by John McTiernan. And today's loser is all of us,
Good job,
including
Ketzel.
Sky, but she won't be on today's episode. We have to push on without her.
Sorry, Gur. But we're going to keep the energy up, you know? This is the first time it's been a threefer. and I think that's gonna be really cool because our dynamic is
Chaotic.
chaos.
I think it's nice for audience members to know that we're all friends with each other individually, and the dynamic for this trio is pure chaos emeralds.
And I'm having a good time.
Having a good time. Why did we pick this movie?
Good question.
It's one of the most popular action movie franchises, and is considered one of the greatest action films of all time.
Yeah, I have seen, I think in our teens there was a Die Hard movie. Bruce Willis was in it, and then there was this one either small teenage boy that was very popular at the time, or
Small teenage
Justin
boy.
Long. Small teenage boy Justin Long.
yes, him. I mean, he's not really
I love
a
him.
teenager,
I was just watching Jeepers Creepers the other day.
but he's not a teenager. He just looks like
Oh,
a
so
teen.
baby faced.
He's
So baby faced. But like, I don't know what he looks like right now, but I'm sure he'd still be looking good because he has like one of those faces that doesn't really age that.
He do, and
much.
you know, I'm just gonna say he has a podcast, and I heard one episode and I liked it a lot.
That is true. I totally forgot about that.
Come on our podcast,
But-
Justin.
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 We get Justin Long, but no Jam Khan.
Oh,
You know, maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe that's for the best. I love that one line that he has in the movie, the Die Hard movie that he's in. And actually, I won't say it because I kind of have an urge to maybe watch that in its full glory. But he says something too.
Yeah. The
It's
famous
the-
one.
I think it's. Is it famous?
yes.
Yes?
Question mark.
Should we just say it?
Yeah,
we
just
just
say,
say it?
yeah. Might as well.
It's so weird hearing that tone of voice from someone with hair.
Oh no, I don't know that at all.
No.
Oh, I don't know that one, no.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't think
I
it
was
was
thinking-
famous.
I thought we were going for the
Yippee-ki-yay.
iconic yippee-ki-yay,
Motherfucker.
Oh no, that's in every Die Hard. No, but
Well,
Justin
some
Long
people
says
don't know that.
Like, that's the only thing I knew.
aside
Yeah.
from Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that it was like a Christmas movie until like one of you said, "Oh, we're doing this for Christmas." I was like, "All right, cool."
right.
Weird
which,
flex, but okay.
See,
which is the second thing that
yeah.
we're picking this for, because hot debate, is this a Christmas movie? Because it happens around Christmas time. And let's bring up that poll that we had on Instagram, because I'm still kind of mad about it.
Me
Love
too.
you guys, love our followers, but
I'm
Nightmare
mad.
Before Christmas, a Halloween movie, it's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. Everyone said it was Halloween, Antonio, and it's a Christmas movie.
because it is.
Oh
Wait, we've had
You
this
know-
discussion, and you said it was a Christmas movie.
yes, you did.
You
Did
did. It's on.
Yeah, you did.
It is. You can't go back on it because we have a whole podcast of you recording with you
I
saying
have
this.
records.
Does it? Okay.
I have records.
Yes, because
Which episode is that?
Like,
the last episode that was Get Out. That was the last.
get out.
That was 2 episodes ago, technically, but Get Out.
You guys listen to me talk more often than I listen to me talk.
That's true. No, because I think it's like they're spooky Halloween characters, yes, but they're doing things for Christmas. They're having a Christmas during Christmas time. Therefore, it is a
Agreed.
Christmas movie. Thank you,
Agreed.
Dahlia. Thank you, Dahlia.
You know what? You need to listen
I
to
guess
our
I have to
episodes.
listen to my own thoughts sometimes. You think you guys are chaotic with me? I'm chaos by myself.
Yeah, that's true. I think it just gets heightened.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm a big like energy feeder person. Like I only give off
You
the vibes that I
feed.
get.
He's like,
Oh, are we crazy today? Okay, we can be crazy. Oh, we're mad. I can be mad too. It's easy.
I got that with me at all times.
lovely.
It comes from trying to be human all the time.
All
it's 'cause
right.
you're a lizard person. Moving on.
So another reason we picked this is a very famous villain and hero. Listen, the only thing I know is that Alan Rickman's the villain and Bruce Willis is the hero, and that is the extent of which I
Wait.
know.
I didn't notice
I
that
did not
until
even know
like
that.
I looked at the actors because I'm an idiot and my eyes scrolled too
You know
far down.
what? You know this
you know
is a
what?
good. This is a
Let-
good
let me-
transition.
Let me scroll down.
Okay, no, before the actors, this is a good transition to what the fuck do you guys know about this movie?
Antonio.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, and Bruce Willis. Also,
Nice.
there's probably a car that is definitely all 4 wheels off the ground at some point. I'm like pretty sure that might be all of the movies. But if it doesn't happen in this one, I honestly, I'm not that married to that idea. I think that's just like pretty standard.
He's halfway in.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, for me, yeah, definitely Bruce Willis. I know that they get, they're in a hotel. That's the setting. And it's around Christmas time, and the villain is a villain.
The hero is a hero.
I didn't know that the villain was Alan Rickman. That's amazing. But I think that's all that I know. He's just, I feel like I'm trying to think about what I know, and I've seen Bruce Willis crawling through air vents, and that's the only thing I know is like the hotel crawling through air vents.
Unlocked
Bruce
memory.
Willis. Yeah. I think
Honestly,
that's
that could
about
be
it.
all the movies too. That could be a trope. Watch that be a trope throughout all these movies. Maybe I'll watch the rest of them afterwards. Just to,
Wait,
like,
have you guys seen this like maybe secondhandly or no?
I don't think I have, but
as
I've
a
seen,
child, maybe.
I've seen
Honestly, it
enough.
could just be one of those movies that like played in the background.
Y'all ever watch VH1? You know, like things like that.
Yeah, like just something playing or like
They're like iconic movies of the 90s or something.
I don't know when
or
it came to like
80s.
action comedy movies, which would this be considered a comedy as well as action?
No, I think
I
it's
don't
straight
know.
up
does it?
I think it's
action.
Which is
Oh.
also one of the reasons why I also don't know very much. I know about as much as you guys know about this. I also know a lot because Andy Samberg's character in Brooklyn Nine-Nine's obsessed with this movie, and that's like all I know about it. I think the reason why I never watch it is I don't do action very frequently, so
Neither do I.
I usually have to have like a good gimmick for the action.
sure, for sure. Or
Like,
somebody has to
like,
watch it.
like super secret spy stuff, or like is it about cars? And
Sleeper
honestly,
agent.
Oh, love a good sleeper agent. Yeah, there has to be a good reason for me to want to watch something actiony whatsoever.
Yeah.
that's true. I
Like
mean,
it has to be like
does-
fantasy action, sci-fi action.
Does like Fast and Furious franchise count as action
Yes,
technically?
100%, I
absolutely.
would
That's
think.
the first thing. I
But their
think
gimmick
of.
is the cars.
Yeah, it does have the gimmick with the cars.
That's why I haven't
don't
seen
think
any
I
of
have
them.
A preference.
I honestly, can you guys name one non-gimmicky action movie that is popular?
What do you
Mission
mean by
Impossible?
gimmick? Yeah, I was gonna think Mission Impossible, but is
Like
Spies the
it's
gimmick?
like a motif. Yeah, like Spies would be the gimmick. Like I honestly, this might be one of the reasons I never watched Die Hard. There is no gimmick that I can think of.
Oh,
Maybe there is,
it's,
but we
like,
don't know it.
Neutral aligned. Well, we'll find out later. I mean, all I can think of is like also Van Damme movies, and I know
Oh
that,
my
that was,
God,
like,
I grew up with a lot of
Steven
like,
Seagal for my dad.
you.
Loves Steven Seagal.
That's one of those. Okay, so I saw a lot of Steven Seagal movies as a kid. I could not tell you a single one, like the name of
No,
one. Couldn't.
absolutely not, because they all blend
But
together.
I've seen
but
probably
I know his
5 or 6.
face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, was he part of a show before he was like a big movie action star? Or
I
something
don't
like
know, and quite frankly, I don't care.
that? All right, because I'm gonna leave that in the past. There are some things that I'll like go back to my origin story to like rehash or re-enjoy. Nah, that bitch can stay buried.
Except for
Steven's-
Austin Powers.
That can stay buried too.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna
No,
shut
no,
this
no,
off
no.
right now. Y'all hating on Austin Powers too much.
No, I actually, I feel like I should rewatch like, what is it, Gold Member?
You want the movies? I have the movies. I have the goods.
I'm sure I can find them online, but maybe.
But y'all can watch them
Kessel's like-
together
Are we
and
watching
jerk
this
each other
together?
off. All right, list of actors: Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, Alexander Godunov,
Godunov.
and Bonnie Bedelia.
I love a good alliterative name.
Yes, we love Harry Potter. Very Harry
That's-
Potter.
That's not alliterative.
No. Like in Harry Potter, so many of the names are alliterative.
Oh, okay. I was like, Harry Potter isn't alliterative.
No, you dumb bitch. The rest of them. Like
Okay. Name one alliterative name.
Bathilda
I'm not here,
Bagshot.
Peter.
Okay. Thank you. I was like, I really needed you to come through with that. I was like,
Of
I
course.
can think
Antonio,
of like maybe 2.
you can always count on me with the Harry Potter shit.
Wait, can I ask you, does Hagrid have a last name?
That is his
Rudius
last
Hagrid.
name. That is his last name.
I have to check myself out.
Big
Screams.
Harry Potter fan.
You guys
Definitely
can-
not the Ravenclaw that has been purported to be.
All right. Speaking of Harry Potter, Alan Rickman. We love Alan Rickman. Can't wait
I'm
to see
excited
him.
to
I
see
miss
him.
him.
Can I tell you? Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
The first time I saw Alan Rickman outside of Harry Potter was in high school. He was in a very old play of, I think, Romeo and Juliet, and I'm pretty sure he was playing Mercutio, if I'm not mistaken. And it was just wild to see him, an actor on the big screen, to be like in theater. But he was a theater dude.
Yeah, a lot of these like classic British actors tend to start in theater,
Come from the theater.
or do theater, like also in
Yeah.
between movies.
Wow.
Actually, not even the older ones.
Most of them. You're right. Yeah, the young ones. They just do theater
like
too.
the English. They
I
just
love
usually
that for
do.
them.
It's a thing.
Anyway, I just wanted to say that.
All right, so let's end with the score. So Rotten Tomatoes is 94, audience is 94, Google is 92 for an average of A.
That's a solid A.
That is a solid A.
I have high
Solid
expectations.
Is it part of the 1% of movies?
I think A plus are like those 1%, the ones that are like in the 98s and 97s. This would be like a 93, wouldn't it be? Or so.
So top
Yeah.
10%.
So
of
top
all
10,
movies?
top 10. Math escapes me, it eludes me.
I just told Antonio today, they don't pay me to think after work, so I can't do math on the
I'm not
weekends.
being paid to think. That is powerful, Dahlia, and you're correct.
If you guys put me on the payroll for this, then I might actually pay attention to what y'all say.
Oh,
You
Lord.
know?
I am definitely treat motivated.
And you say
Oh,
that, I'm like,
man.
I'm really the reason you're not here is because we're not paying you. Hey, we're glad we're all here. Bye.
All the action got sucked out of my body.
Ooh, I feel like I'm coming down from a high. I think I'm coming down from a little bit of a high for that movie because, wow.
Dahlia was the most lit. Can I say?
Oh my God, we
Dahlia
can get.
was flailing.
I was screaming the whole time, more
Oh
than
my
Get
God,
Out,
so
I
much,
think.
so much screaming. Scarier movies, not as much screaming as there is right now.
I just wanted things to happen,
Dahlia.
and they happened, okay? And obviously, we're back from watching Die Hard, and it was so much better than I expected. I think I had high expectations just based off of the ratings that we saw, Rotten Tomatoes, Google, so on. And like, honestly, it lived up to the hype, and I can just say that
100%.
right now. It got me excited.
I was very into this. I was like, wow.
Well, we can definitely talk about this at the end because I disagree.
Okay, let's talk about the movie
All right,
first.
all right.
Ooh, okay. So here we are in the aftermath. So I guess we can just kind of start out with who the main character was. And this is John McClane.
Bruce
And-
Willis.
Yes,
Bruce Willis of John McClane fame.
And he
John
just,
McCain.
John McClane Phyllis. John McCain.
he just popped into this movie all handsome. And we were like, oh.
And haired.
Yes.
Not hairless, haired.
Haired. And I said this, I'm like, I was not attracted to him in Pulp Fiction. If you go back to our Pulp Fiction
Right.
episode, I did ask whether you guys would fuck him, and I said I wouldn't. I'd fuck him here. I'd absolutely fuck him here.
Somewhere in between this and I think, I want to say Fifth Element, something starts to happen to that head of his.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we're not going to knock male pattern baldness. It happens sometimes.
It's
you can
part of
still,
your genetics.
You could still be
I
a handsome man and
absolutely-
bald.
I absolutely knocked it in our Devil Wears Prada.
You
episode,
absolutely
so.
did. I will never forget Beanie Man on the subway. Never.
Beanie Man.
Never.
It's
So
better to have loved and lost.
like his hair.
Oh my God. Okay, that's what I was like. I have like memories being unlocked as you say like words like Beanie Man, and then now I completely remember that story. I'm so sorry for your
Yeah.
loss.
You're so sorry for
Sorry
your
for
hair
his loss.
I mean, why be so concerned about looks? You don't get to take them to your grave.
I think I can.
You don't get to take your hair to your grave. That's for sure.
Live fast, die hard. Bad girls do it
Bad
well.
girls do it well. And Bruce Willis is the baddest of all gals.
He is a bad gal. Like, we see him just trying to be cool on the airplane, popping up, and then he gets out of the airport and he's like, has his gun strapped to him on the airplane.
On
and
the plane. A weapon on this plane.
The guy's like, oh,
Because he's a cop.
and he's like,
a
don't
cop.
worry, I'm a cop. And
Ugh.
we just see him being all cool. And he's landing in Los Angeles. You could tell he's a New Yorker. And he's there because he is coming to meet his wife for the holidays. It is Christmas Eve. Wild, right? And yeah, there's more problems that ensue. And I guess we can start from there.
No. There's still more that's happening during that time frame. Between the smoking in the airport.
Oh,
That was
shit.
another... That happened. So after the gun scene, he's in the airport waiting for his bag. They're smoking in the middle of the airport. This is like, what year is this?
This is 88.
It's 88.
Wow.
And
You
it's
can't
so
even smoke in a Las
jarring.
Vegas airport. And nowadays, you can't really smoke in the casinos either. But hey, that's crazy.
He just was smoking one out there, and it's
Yeah.
very jarring to see.
I'm not a fan.
As someone born 6 years after this movie was made. Wow.
6.
Truly.
88?
I was born in 93.
I was
5
born
for
in
you then.
94.
I'm
We're
like
94
6.
babies.
We're 94 babies.
Looking down upon thee.
Um,
So here we are. We're coming up to Nakatomi Plaza. We're finding out that John McClane is the husband of the lady who is the career woman, Holly.
My name is
So-
Holly.
So we're going over. John is not in a talkative mood, but his limo driver, first day on the job, Argyle's like, "Hey, so what's your story? What's your deal? Are you married? Are you separated? Are you here to see your mistress? Blah blah blah." And
What's your name? What's your sign?
he's just having the time of his life, like asking all these questions to John, and it's pretty funny. Like you could see their dynamic. He's really such a tiny part in this entire movie, but I enjoyed him.
we love
a
the
lot.
small details, which I will say this movie is like full of. Just tiny little things.
That made me like happy.
Yeah, just like small dumb things. There are certain movies that like, if you take it out, it affects nothing about the plot, but when it's in, it's like nice.
That's
Yeah. Definitely the small roles had quite the personality, which I definitely feel is a thing of the time. Of like every little character has a little quirk or has a little like quip too. You know what I mean?
They served a purpose. It wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
blah blah casting. So that was like really fun and a nice little opening to the movie. So yeah, John arrives. Nobody's there. Obviously, it's Christmas Eve. Who's going to be at the fucking office on Christmas Eve? Except for the people on the 30th floor having a Christmas party.
Who are there on Christmas Eve at the office?
But of course, right? So he gets there. He's like, "Where's my wife?" And he's trying to like log in because you have to this building has like such crazy
I thought it was just like
technology.
a directory. Like an 80. It had a touch
88.
screen. In
It-
88, there was
yeah.
a touch screen. I don't even think touch
That was
screens
a big
existed
deal.
until like, I don't know. When was the earliest touch screen you guys remember?
Man, I don't know. The DS.
Touchscreen?
Yeah, like
My
the fir-
fucking the fucking like sidekick or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, my phone.
I want to say like libraries had like touch screens.
Oh.
Like libraries had touch screens to check stuff out.
Airports, maybe.
Oh yeah, things like that. Like airports or like little kiosks that you might have to touch something like
This
check
is
in
where
here.
our age. This is where our age is really showing because I feel like us, we know that there was a time before all this technology boom, but it's very blurry when things started appearing for me.
Dude, everything just started changing. Like suddenly we just started
So
adapting
quickly.
technology like it was nothing. Like, oh, okay, now phones have buttons. Okay, now my phone has no buttons at all. And
Exactly.
it's
You're
only
not
touch
a-
screen.
Like the phones are not going to have any sort of like cords.
I
and,
use
like,
my
kids are going
face-
to be like, "What's a cord?"
I use my face to unlock the screen. I don't even have to like put in my code sometimes. Like it's
Also, it was
It's a lot.
it truly was such a change. It's like from 1 second to the next, you could fucking chat with strangers online.
yeah.
Ugh.
Fucking aimed.
In like
Now I'm
fucking
trying to
Europe.
chat.
Now I'm like, ooh, gotta get off of social media for like a month.
But like this directory is taking, John to the right place, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I
Or
don't even
no,
know
he's just trying to search where his wife is.
he's like checking the directory though, and guess what? She changed her motherfucking last name. Oh, So now we know they're separated and probably not on good terms. So that's great.
Well, they already knew
But
that
he's
beforehand. It was like a 6-month separation because he had talked about it with Argyle.
He didn't know that she changed her name
He didn't know that.
on her office
He
door.
was like, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. Actually, we should probably touch
directory?
base. We probably should touch base on the fact that Argyle was cool enough to say, hey, I'm going to go park in the parking garage. You let me know if she's going to let you stay at her place. If not, I'll find you a hotel room and I'll drive you there.
I totally didn't catch that.
Oh my God.
I know it
How do you
happened.
catch this detail, but you don't catch the fucking key going down the drain and Saw?
It was boring.
T.
It was boring.
That was a big plot point.
It was boring.
But
It was
Argyle
boring.
wasn't.
I wasn't being paid. Honestly, Argyle was talking.
You're not being paid now. You're still not being paid to remember Argyle's word.
You know, I don't know. I'm more
know?
of like a people person sort of situation, like episodic events. But like pictures, I'm just like, eh, whatever. It's all in a day. You know, if I literally saw a piano falling out of the sky, I'd probably be like, meh, that's weird.
Oh, like the body falls out of the sky later?
You know, that could have happened for me in my life. And like, I've actually seen something traumatic like that. Or like,
You're like, that's
quirky like that.
weird.
Oh, that's funny.
Strange.
Did you say something traumatic or quirky like that?
I'm just quirky. That's my
I
trauma.
mean, weird things falling out of the sky. It's just all in a day.
Oh, Lord.
But no, that's
God,
exactly
okay.
what Argyle did. Also, what if Argyle had a girlfriend named Cashmere?
Get out. This is not fashion
Okay,
police. This is movie.
So the party.
Go on.
So, yeah, at the party, Holly's there. Obviously, John's trying to get up into that party. We meet this fucking real jagweed, fucking Ellis, who is a co-worker, who's just like a real cokehead business boy. We thought he was hot at first, but nah. He was not it. He was not it. He was so annoying, and he stays annoying until his final breath later on.
Oh, you're so totally right.
But all things considered, you know, didn't do like as much damage as he could have as a human being. So they, when they do reunite, Holly and John have like a whole chat. You know, they both seem to be amicable to the situation a little bit, but also then they have the fight about like the name thing, which, you know, how do you guys feel about that?
I mean, he didn't know that she changed her name. Like, that's kind of serious in terms of relationship where I go back to using my maiden name. But also,
That's
I think she said it was like part of her job where she's like, well, I didn't want them to think I was like a married, divorced woman or like whatever. Like, I wanted to just appear as myself, not a man's wife.
I think that Holly was a real career woman, real boss bitch, and she's like putting her career like as a priority, which like he obviously had an issue with, and then later like recounts that and was like, I should have supported you more. And I think this is just another manifestation of that, of like, well, I needed to change my name for my job because this is what I needed to do. So, yeah, no.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, it just certainly
Put your job first. It's how you eat. Love is not how you eat, guys.
it certainly hurt his like machismo there. So that's like what I see from his side. For her side, I feel like I get it because like
Does your machismo feed me?
no. Throughout this movie,
When your machismo feeds me, it can definitely be a priority.
but yeah, like I think that was like sad for him, and you know, I don't think that she was in the wrong really because she could do whatever she wants. TBH, it's not like he knew her last name, so he was able to find her.
Words say words, not actions say words, guys.
But you can tell that they still love
Okay,
each other.
Plato.
They still love each other despite this fight. They're really trying. It's just kind of hard, you know, being away from your person and like just coming back, especially on Christmas Eve. But anyway, we see in the next scene that suddenly there's like two dudes in the lobby and they're like chit chatting like nobody's business, and then they just shoot the front desk attendant and the doorman.
Oh no. Dahlia's villain boyfriend Theo arrives.
Oh my god, he was just giving me like vibes where
Quirky villain vibes.
if I was a villain, this would be me. This would be like my personality. I'd be the intellectual person hacking into the thing, doing none of the labor, and then being like like stupid, you know, on the radio.
He's a silly boy.
I enjoyed
Guys,
him.
Dahlia has bisexual morality as well. She can either be the hero or the villain.
True.
Remember, I'm Jigsaw.
I'm both Jigsaw and a robber.
I'm both Jigsaw and the person playing the game.
But then Alan Rickman appears not long after, and woo,
Ooh.
Daddy, sorry, Daddy,
That was-
sorry,
Oof.
Daddy.
Oof, oof, oof.
That was a whole moment. I was like,
Also, is he short to y'all?
I don't
according
think
to that?
so.
Alan?
Yeah. Shorter. Or was
Are
he
you-
just
I don't
surrounded
care
by a whole bunch of tall German? He just seemed a lot shorter in
Listen.
comparison to a number of people.
I mean,
But his
feel like the
presence. But his
Oh,
presence.
yeah, 100%. When you walk into a room looking like that,
Oh,
you
he
definitely
was
have presence,
definitely
but,
bad guy energy.
stature-wise.
Alan Rickman was 6'1".
okay, he was just
Wow.
amongst taller men.
Much taller German guys who with terrible haircuts.
With terrible hair.
Oh
but-
God, not the haircuts.
I do want to talk about Alan playing Hans, because he was just honestly, this was my favorite part, which was Alan being just a fabulous villain. And I don't know what made him so fabulous. He's just so like fucking cool and calm and smart. I don't know. He's
You
a
gotta
good
say
villain.
all three alliterations: cool, calm, and collected.
Sorry, cool, calm, and cool.
I loved it.
Fucking
I
cunt.
totally get it because
Cool, calm, and cunt.
he was totally not like there being angry and making like impulse decisions. Like he was actually
I love that.
thinking. You know,
We love a logic villain.
Oh, that I think is just much worse than an impulsive like villain. An impulsive villain would just like shoot out everybody and not even give a fuck. But he was very, very collected, and he was making like, you know, strategic moves. Like he was actually being very wise about his decisions. And I feel like that's more like villainous and sinister than somebody who's just popping off.
Yeah, it reminds me of Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards. That's sort of like very quiet scariness.
All Hans
Another
are
Hans.
bad.
But Hans was
All Hans are bad.
terrible. He was much more evil, and
Gruber.
he had
No,
like
no, no, but,
he had a sadistic like
No,
side.
he did. But I mean, like that sort of aura of like I'm in charge, but I'm not yelling. You know, like I'm just like I'm
I
the
have
brains, I'm the
control.
presence, I'm in control of this room, and it's very villainous. And Alan did it.
Oh my
very
god,
well.
are we gonna go over our villain types? Dahlia's whimsy villain. I like logic villain a lot. Are you like if this it goes back to like our high school times? Are you like crazy villain like Joker?
I definitely am too dumb, I think, to be a villain.
To be a villain,
What do you mean?
you could never
I
pull
don't-
off being evil. Is that what
I-
we're hearing?
I can't pull it off. That's too much thought and like planning, and that's too much.
I wouldn't
Mama,
be
that's
bored.
not a hat I want to wear.
It's not a hat I want. I'd rather be there being like the
You wanna wear a
brawn,
dunce
like being
camp.
lookout. Dunce camp.
A dunce cap.
A dunce cap.
Cap.
Did I say camp?
No, yeah, you said. Are you drinking?
No.
I'm running off of
Damn.
sleep and cough.
All right, 3 hours.
I'm delirious.
No, I feel like I would absolutely am happy to be y'all's like lookout man for y'all villainous stuff, but I don't think I could do
You're
it.
my linchpin. You're my backup plan. You're my secret plan
Yeah.
all along.
That's cool. I'll come in like with my fist ready, boom, 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 but I can't be the one to make the plans. I'm not the plan man.
Yeah, I don't think I am the plan man either. I'm more of a henchman, but like a higher up henchman that you need me. You wouldn't just kill me easily.
Yeah.
I'd make myself
I don't
useful.
I don't know.
I
There's
can't
no
do that.
crime that I would really feel like doing to like plan it out. But hey, I feel like, you know, if I really wanted to, I could execute really well.
Oh, you could. You could. Yes, you absolutely could. I guess. Okay, if I did have it in me, I guess I would be a really chaotic, like not really thinking things through, shoot whoever. That's not
Like a
good. So maybe I
stormtrooper?
shouldn't be a villain.
Mm.
Yeah.
I could be a Star Wars sometimes.
I could be a Star War.
Yes, Alan Rickman really just like knocked us down a peg. We're just like, oh, whoa, because he was just everything about
Hot.
this movie.
Hot.
But at this point, you know, we see he's the bad guy, Hans Gruber, and he's got the whole place on lockdown at this point. Like, they really just knocked it down in like 5 minutes. It was wild. So they make their way up to the 30th floor where the party's happening. They're the the people on the 30th floor are the only people in the building, which is wild. But they're exactly the people that they want to catch. You know, the people working at this company. So
turning around, what kind of fucking holiday party is actually held on Christmas Eve for like work?
Work that happens globally, just like these guys. They have a Japanese conglomerate,
Yeah, it's
multinational, whatever.
Yeah, they're like, do you even celebrate Christmas? Like, I think it's like,
I do remember
Why not?
kind of part of that, like, you know, they're flexible and whatnot. But actually on Christmas Eve, my lord, it is the 24th, right? Sometimes I
Yes.
forget what day Christmas actually is. I just think
Are-
all of the 22nd through the 26th is all just like, it's all Christmas as far as I'm
do
concerned.
you know what day it is now?
It's the 24th and / 25th. That's like the actual Christmas Eve Christmas.
That wasn't my question at all. My question is, what day is it right now? Like
Oh,
today.
God. Oh, no. According to this computer here, it says 1113.
111.
Okay. So they go up the elevator. They're ready to shooting up the place. They're like, get out of here. They tell all the hostages, get out here to the lobby of the 30th floor because they want to get all the hostages together. And then John, because he was like in one of the offices, like kind of washing himself off after getting off the plane, he's caught off guard and he's just wearing his pants and he's wearing a tank top and he has his gun in hand and he's like, I got to get out of here because, you know, they're going to get him. That was wild because me, quick thinking, probably wouldn't have been able to pull that off, TBH. But that's just me. The reason
No shoes.
and oh yes, he has no shoes. This is an ongoing
is-
thing in the story.
No
Absolutely.
shoes.
It's very important.
Super importante.
No shoes. So we go off. We learn that the bad guys are here just to steal the money in the vaults, and it's not like money. It's like paintings, bonds, etc. So they take the boss and they're like, give me the code. And then he's like, I don't have the code. And then he's like, give me the code. Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber's not fucking around. And Mr. Takagi is like, no. And then he just shoots him dead. Like, I don't know. I love the no nonsense of this villain. And I appreciate that about Hans Gruber. But also, what a villain.
Right?
He's such a good
I
villain.
said I was going to shoot you, and now here I am shooting you.
He does what he
it's-
says.
Like, that's how you become a villain, guys. That's how you actually villain well. Do what you say you're going to do.
Say what you mean what you say. Bad girls do it well.
So, where are we next? John is ootin' a boot.
And he's trying to get the situation fucking handled because God knows the police isn't doing fucking shit when they eventually get there. But John's trying to like slowly make his way through each like gunman, shooting them, trying to take them all down. And he's communicating to Hans via like the
radio?
walkie-talkie radio thing. There you go. So they're having their like sort of like dancing around each other sort of thing while John's gunning everyone down. His shirt's getting dirtier. He's getting bloodier. That's
yeah.
basically the whole fucking movie.
Just consequently getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier.
And
in
then
one
take it
night.
off.
and sweatier.
Take it off.
Take it off. Just take it off, bitch. But yeah, he's going through the vents, like Dahlia said. He goes through vents very soon in.
He did. I was like, I'm so glad the vents actually happened in this movie because I'm pretty sure that some tiny clips of like reviews of this movie I have seen where he's crawling through the vents and then he's like talking to himself, which he did. He does that a lot.
He does that a lot.
He does.
Yeah.
Because he has no one else to talk to, because anyone else is either trying to kill him or is a hostage
Isn't
somewhere
listening
else.
to him.
Right. But at least while he has his little radio and he's talking, to Hans, he's able to get an emergency message out on a restricted channel. And then they're like, sir, this is an emergency channel and it's reserved for emergencies. And it's like, okay, but I found you because I have an emergency. Like, why are you not taking me seriously?
Yeah.
And then despite the gunshots that happen at the end of this conversation, she's like, I guess we'll just send a police car out. And then here comes our hero policeman on the way from
Al.
the local 7-Eleven or something. Al.
Al with the Twinkies.
Al with the
But-
good Twinkies.
John's like
was
fighting
great.
for his motherfucking life.
He is. And Al ends up being his only fucking link to the outside world. So they develop a sweet little bromance through this. Bromance, some may say. Because they're literally talking about going on a date with their respective children.
Oh.
Aww.
It is so sweet. Like, I love how their friendship blossoms throughout this whole entire movie. Like, I don't know. I'm glad that there's somebody with some fucking common sense, you know, in this film. And
Just
it's
one person. Just one.
Just one person, because no one listens to him. The FBI doesn't. The chief of police doesn't. No one fucking listens to him.
Yep. And even then, like, nobody was even going to believe the policeman at all until a fucking body was thrown out the window onto his car. And then he faced a shootout.
That was
driving
great.
backwards.
And that's when the police actually get there.
They're like, oh, yeah, this is an emergency. Wow. Wow. What a concept.
Sometimes you just got to throw bodies out to get someone's attention. Just throw your body around.
You know?
Just throw that ass around a little bit to get some attention.
Oh, God.
The police come, which is what's the most
The
important.
police do come.
The police have arrived. The police is coming.
Are present.
The police are coming. The queen is coming. There we go. But so the police are finally arriving, and they're super not with the program. Whereas Al, who's been chatting with John McClane, they try their whole like brute force entry sort of situation, get their asses handed to them. That was intense. Actually, I think that was like the most intense scene out of the entire
that was
movie.
rough, dude. People died.
But that also has one of like the more mundane scenes that I remembered is the Asian guy with the ponytail just like eating candy. Like no reason for that there. Zero. But for some reason that just tickled me.
Yeah, as they were, Hans's group on the inside is like getting ready to like barricade as the police are coming in, and I mean, if there was candy there, I too would grab a chocolate bar and be like, I'm hungry.
Absolutely.
Fucking, it's
Another one of those
gotta
small
take a break
details,
for that Kit Kat bar.
right? Another one of those small details that really just made it nice.
I feel like there were a couple others, but man, I can't remember them.
I mean, would you guys have reached for the Crunch bar like that guy did?
Yeah,
Would you
I was
have
gonna
gone for
say the
Hershey?
the crunch bar. Absolutely, between the Hershey and the crunch bar.
I would have gone Crunch bar too.
I would have gone Crunch between those two, but there wasn't anything better there.
I mean, those are the two I noticed because my eyes always go straight for
Yeah.
the chocolate.
I can't remember. Maybe there was like a Butterfinger.
Chocolate. No, I can't do a Butterfinger. That shit gets. If I'm holding a gun because I'm trying to be on the lookout, I'm not gonna eat a fucking Butterfinger because that shit gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, you're like,
And then you have to be digging.
as you're trying to shoot.
Mr. Good Bars. Man, Mr. Good
Oh,
Bars is like
love
the
a
worst
Mr.
of
Good
all,
Bar.
of all worlds. Like the chocolate will stick to your teeth and the
Oh.
peanuts will stick to your teeth.
You know what's a good underrated candy? $100 grand. It's like a crunch
I
inside with caramel.
love $100 grand.
I love
Man.
100 grand. Do you know 100 grand, Dahlia? Do you know her?
I know it, but I don't like her.
Why?
You don't like
Not
her?
a fan
it's just
of
caramel
caramel.
crunch. Oh,
Well, that's fair. I'm really not a big fan of caramel either, but
But 100 grand is it?
it hits.
I do
It
like
hit-
a
it do
Mr.
be
Good
hidden.
bar.
Mr. Good Bar's good. My favorite candy bar is the Take 5. The one with got a pretzel, got a little peanut
No,
butter.
I
got
don't know why a
little
Take
caramel.
5 to me just
I
sounds
hear-
like a protein bar.
I hear people talk about
It's
Take Fives
not.
all the time, like they're
It's not.
goddesses.
They're
I
goddesses,
prefer
but
a good Kit Kat.
you've
with
had
a
one?
little
A
But have
crunch
you had
wafer.
one?
A Kit Kat
I don't
is
think I
just
have.
where it's at. Or Butterfinger.
You
I
guys
love
gotta
a good
try it.
Butterfinger.
you
I have
you
had
should
it
take
before.
a bite.
I think it's over.
so
I
good.
think it's a little.
Take a
over.
bite. Take a bite.
It's because it's salty. For me, it's that pretzel. Like I love the M&M pretzels. I love the saltiness. I
haven't tried
prefer
that
peanut
yet.
M&M over an M&M.
Oh,
or
me
crunchy
too.
M&M.
Absolutely.
I like mini M&Ms more than I like regular M&Ms.
Oh my god, I used to fucking when they were like in the little
Reese's
can
Pieces.
Something about just like the tiny handful.
when they
is
were in the
where it's at.
little like the little bottle thing. I would just pound those like shots when I was like 7.
Me as a villain.
That's how I ended up with this freaking like Excedrin migraine addiction.
Me as a villain in my like tactical gear with my little vest. One of my pockets holding a chocolate bar.
Holding your Reese's Pieces.
You know,
That's me.
just like have like a little pocket square, but folded up inside of it is a full size candy bar.
Fold it up in it. A
I
fruit
need
by
some
the
more
foot.
ammo. Chocolate bar. But that was a really fun thing
Man,
that they put into there.
I want to do a whole bunch of like crazy villain shit in a movie, like
Some quirky villain shit.
yeah, like I want to have someone eat a fucking chicken wing with a knife and fork.
That's me.
That's diabolical.
It's fucking psychotic, and I think it would
Is
just
this
like
as-
you know, it would be like a sterile white room, and the guy gets like served some chicken wings and like takes
Tell
one
me.
and like picks it apart with a knife and fork.
Tell me, is that as
Or-
diabolical as the cereal scene in Get Out? Because I like to eat sometimes pizza and not wings sometimes, but like I would eat it with a knife and a fork sometimes.
No,
Is it as
That's
diabolical?
kind of
like honestly the
diabolical, but not like that.
it's what that was for Get Out was more like deconstructed.
I'm still
Terrible.
eating it the same way. I'm still putting it into my mouth. I'm just not
To
dirtying
me-
my hands.
Well, do you guys eat a Kit Kat by breaking it apart, or you take a chomp like I do?
You break it apart.
I break it apart and then I chomp.
I take a chomp, baby. I take
See,
a
that's
chomp
why
right through
that's
it.
why you're the crazy one. That's why you're wild. That's crazy.
Look,
That's
we've all
crazy,
got
bro.
our weird quirks.
I chomp, babes. You're right. I would be the crazy villain. I leave
Pegged.
candy wrappers at the scene of the crime.
Can you lift that print? You mean the one perfectly preserved in chocolate? Yeah, I can get that print.
Those fingerprints, yeah.
But the most diabolical thing of this all is like, or not of this all, but like Ellis in the meantime, he's
Right, the movie.
being
Oh,
chaotic.
fuck.
Going back to the movie, Ellis in the meantime, this is going on downstairs, the chocolate bar stuff, and then upstairs, Ellis is like, I can get you John McClane, and we have already told you our distaste for Ellis already. This
Yes.
motherfucker's like straight up just sitting there as a hostage, snorting a little bit more coke because he was already coked up and high, which is the worst. I feel like the worst.
Way to be.
Yes, under like siege. I'm just like, why would you do so? And you're doing it again right here. But he's like, I negotiate $1 million deals. I can negotiate with a villain, but of course. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, long story short, he absolutely does not know what he's getting into. He's a fucking idiot. And he's just
Yep.
like, I can get you John McClane. And he's like, you fucking idiot. Like, do you even know that these guys will literally kill you? Like, do you understand? And he's like, John, just come downstairs. And then, you know, he cannot get John to come downstairs. So he dies because he's an idiot.
But honestly, this is why I was saying that like Ellis doesn't fuck up the whole movie as much as he possibly could have. All he had to do was say, "Hey, that's his wife right there." Instead, Ellis.
That's what I
plays,
thought
like-
he was gonna do.
Me
like,
too.
legitimately, I thought so too. They played that up a lot, but you know, in the end, Ellis didn't do the really, really shitty
He's
thing.
just stupid.
He just did the stupid thing, and like, he gambled and lost his own life as opposed to like getting John's wife in the line of fire.
True.
I feel like he would have done it if he thought about it. I just think he didn't think
I
about
think
it.
he just didn't know that he was really gonna like die because of it.
Yeah.
So dense, so dumb, but somewhat well deserved? Question mark. I mean, nobody deserves to
Exclamation
die,
point.
but he put himself into that situation, so that's a him problem. That's a personal problem.
That is a poisonal problem.
Poisonal.
It's poisonal. So, meanwhile, John McClane remains being a bad bitch, and
John
is this-
McClane keeps
oh.
playing Mousetrap with this fucking building. You know, let's go through this fan. Let's go through this fan. Let's go.
did you
here.
guys play
Let's
that
go there.
game? The board
No,
game?
I always thought
I've
it was so
always
interesting,
wanted
and I
to.
always wanted to, but
I
we
had
didn't
it.
have it, and I don't know how it really works.
I want to catch a mouse.
I don't remember how it worked, but we did have it, and I did used to know it at some point in time, and it was fun. It had a bunch of little contraptions.
Yeah, that's
Little
the best part.
contraptions.
Yeah, that's why it was like so interesting to the rest of us because it was like 3D.
Yeah, 40
Oh.
if you spit in somebody's face after.
Oh, no.
Oh.
What kind of games are you playing?
It's fucking weird. Whack.
What
bro.
happened
Anyway.
next?
That's whack.
Whack. Whack.
Okay, so like Ellis dies. Hans is like, man, fuck this fucking shit. I'm gonna go find the detonators myself.
Really, Ellis? Hans just goes up to check the explosives. That's all he does.
Yeah.
He tells Carl.
Oh, yeah.
He tells Carl, whose brother was killed earlier in the film and now has a boner for murder, to go and like try to get the detonators. But lo and behold, Hans is like, I'm just gonna check on the explosives, make sure they're all good, and then that's how they meet.
But John McClane finds them, and Hans, being so smart, right, is when he's like,
Yes.
"Don't shoot me, bro." Basically,
He
pretending.
basically- Don't tase
pretending
me,
to
bro.
be-
Don't praise me.
pretending to be American so John thinks he's a hostage and not, Hans. Very quick thinking, very funny accent.
Yes, it was terrible, but he was trying to be like, I don't know, some sort of Texas, California. I'm like, pick one.
American, just a good old American, just accent that non-Americans think
Right.
when they're imitating.
He is just trying to switch it up so hard on John, who totally knows what's up. He's just like, I'm going to look over here and look at these names. And if he picks one of those names, obviously he's not saying his real name. So it's just crazy. He totally knows the jig is up right there. And he gets like, in front of Hans. And then Hans is speaking in German to his radio. And then he's just like, drop the gun, McLean. And then we're like, ooh, but John didn't put any bullets in the gun that he handed over to Hans. So he goes, click, click, and surprise, bitch, there's no bullets.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
And then there's a shootout because, of course, he called his men's, and they come to the same floor that they're at, and they have a shootout, which is wild.
And this is when he steps on glass, right?
And he's
Yes.
still shoeless.
Still shoeless, and after having killed 3, 4, 5 guys at this point, has not found someone who, Cinderella, not his Cinderella fit.
You know what? There's a point that you made earlier in the episode. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
we
so
threw
he
Marco,
He kills Marco,
a henchman.
one of the henchmen, and tosses his body through a window onto the police car, so that way the police get an attention. Throw your bodies
Correct.
around to get attention. But didn't check for the shoes at any other point. He did check for shoes on what was that guy's name at the beginning? Heinrich was the guy who was dealing with the explosives, and he's the one that John killed at some point and
Yes, he
took
did.
the detonators.
Yes, he did.
I'm trying to
Pew,
remember.
pew.
Carl is the one with the
With the long
murder
hair.
boner. And I didn't know he was his brother until afterwards.
Oh.
Carl the murder
Alan
boner.
Hans Gruber literally was like, tell Carl that his brother's been murdered.
Which, was a very, sympathetic move
Very-
for, a logic villain.
That was such
you
a
love
good
that?
Alan Rickman impression.
Now we got
Tell
Doc
Carl
Brown.
that-
We got
There will be no foolish wand waving in this class. The first time he opened his mouth. Man, I love a good monotone.
I love him.
Oh wait. Carl's there, he shoots the fucking glass. Our shoeless hero.
Because our shoeless hero is vulnerable on the soles
Because
of
of
his
his
feetsies.
shoes.
Hans
Because he has
knows
no
it.
shoesies. His feetsies are vulnerable.
Yeah, Hans knows
Just
it because he
running
just
around this fucking building. No
saw
shoes.
him face to face. And at this point, I can just know his tank top was no longer white. It was brown and bloody.
Fucking dingy. What's weird is it was brown and not gray. Dust is gray. Generally
like-
speaking, when you get dirty, it's
just like
gray
take-
or black or something.
Take it off.
Just take it off.
Oh.
And he does later when he's
He
taking
does.
off the glass off his fucking footsie. He takes off his shirt and we're like, ugh.
Oh,
Hairy.
yes. Love that.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
At this
Nice.
at this point At
Nice.
this point on the outside, the feds show up, and that's a wild always when the feds show up, and they're like, you got to stop this now. You got to turn off the power. And then they're like, we cannot just shut down 10 blocks of power on Christmas Eve.
LA on Christmas Eve. You crazy.
You're crazy. But
Crazy.
they do it.
It's wild.
But
They
bro,
do
that's
it.
wild.
But
Wait.
I mean, at this,
But
can
they
we?
do.
Can we? Yeah. Can we? I'll cut this out. Did we tell you about the whole thing that happened on Saturday? That me, Antonio, and Sky all have a phrase we say when we're not listening to people.
When we're
and you
hardcore not listening to people.
Yeah, but you don't have one, Dahlia, because you're a good person.
Because you're always listening.
I do have my moments. I
But
think
for the
I'm
most
like,
What do you
Part.
say? What's your automatic response?
yeah, that's wild.
No. So that's mine. Mine is always dude, that's wild, or that's wild, and Antonio's is very cool.
That's my
And-
go-to.
Yeah,
I'm done phrase.
and Sky's bro, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's like, oh really?
Yeah, Sky's. Oh really? Oh really? No, you're overall a good listener.
I feel like I have one, but I don't know. I guess it's whenever it fits the mood. It's not just one. Because one time I was
You
talking
diversify.
to somebody, Yeah, I mean, I was talking to somebody on Xbox Live because obviously the game I'm playing, Back for Blood, it's like co-op online. So I like to talk to people, and their mic was cutting out, and I was listening to them, and I know that they were still talking. I'm like, oh yeah, like trying to finish the conversation.
yeah,
like I
yeah.
Oh
heard.
yeah, that is yours. You do that. Oh yeah. That is yours. We found it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait. That's it. That's it. I've heard
She
that.
said it.
I've
I've heard that too.
Oh shit!
Man.
Now everybody's gonna know.
Well, we're
I'm
gonna
keeping
cut.
this
we're
in.
gonna cut
I'm
this
keeping in
out.
the pod.
Okay,
So if I keep
Okay.
saying that's crazy, it's my homage to Sky.
that's crazy.
My heart goes on.
Crazy.
That's
My
crazy.
heart goes on. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
Very cool.
very cool. Yeah.
Jumping
Okay,
back. Into
so-
the movie. We're almost there.
We're almost there. So, we're here.
Yes. So like, it's bad. It's bad. We talked
bad.
about
Bad. It's
we
so
talked about
bad.
John being regretful earlier. This is the point where he was like washing his dirty ass feet, saying like, I regret my life choices, and then
Okay, Forrest Gump.
there's a reporter. I really wanted to put some light on this for like a second, because like
Sure.
in this
Oh,
whole
that and a
movie-
couple of other fucking things.
In this whole movie, there was like a reporter who was very, very early on catching on what was happening at Nakatomi Plaza. And he's like, yo, you got to give me a truck and I got to go over there. And they're like, no, you're an idiot. But he's like, I just have a really good feeling. I want to be the first one on scene.
I'm trying to
so-
get that story.
He was there for all of this shit happening. So great for him, for his career, blah, blah, blah. But this reporter finds out details about Holly's house in Los Angeles, goes to the house and wants to talk to the kids to get like their last quotes in case their parents die, because it's like sad and
Terrible.
sympathy. And honestly, I'm just gonna say, and I feel like I've said this before, I hate reporters. I hate them. Journalists, like, I'm sorry, I don't get you. And he goes to the house to try to get these quotes, and then the nanny, she's like, they're not home, go away, leave. And then he's like, this is like literally the last chance these kids are gonna have to talk to their parents. Do I have to like report you to INS? Like, I will report you. Come on.
Because she was Latina, which was majorly on so many levels fucked off. We were already pissed the fuck off.
Oof. There were a number of other key points that happened, because they also talked about how Al is actually a desk cop and how he no longer wanted to be on the beat or the street because he had been in a shooting incident with a kid who was 13. And so that was also something I was like, oof, that doesn't age well.
Yeah. There's some fucked up shit.
It's this movie that, there's some parts don't age well for sure, but it was just something that was very, very annoying. And I guess it fed into the main storyline too, but it was just that's not cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, the TV report does happen. And then this is where, again, I guess Ellis could have fucked up and told more, but I mean, Hans eventually discovers that Holly is John's wife anyway. So she gets separated from the hostages. All the rest of the hostages go up to the roof, but he keeps Holly with him. And then they go, and there's a fucking helicopter. If it lands, it will get blown up. The hostages are up there. They'll probably get blown up too, because the whole roof is rigged with C4.
Dun, dun, dun. But John, having been what the fuck was Hans doing up there in the first place, had went and checked to see what the deal was, notices it and tries to get everyone off the roof, and no one's trying to listen to him. They're all just like, what are you doing? Why do you have a gun? And then he starts firing into the air, which looks really bad for the perspective of the people in the chopper. Yeah.
They're like, that's a terrorist.
That's a bad guy. Get him. And of
Yeah,
course the
sure.
FBI are terribly written characters in this point.
Oh.
They start saying offbeat comments, just it's just not good all around for this particular scene. But they fire at John. John gets everyone down, to the best of his ability. And he himself has to leap off using a fire hose as a rope. But the roof explodes anyways.
Get off the roof.
destroying the copter and the FBI. So,
Yeah,
we got to get new FBI guys in here.
That was rough. Oh yeah, you're like, we need a new pair of FBI agents. Ours are broken.
Ours are defective. Can we get some new ones?
And it was a fucking lot. And I'll make this comment because it's gonna come back to us later. Right before John was able to get on the roof, he was having a big old fight with Carl, who's like, what is it, Murder Boner?
Oh yeah, Murder Boner Karl. Looks like a really bad version of I don't know, The Undertaker.
I don't know WWE.
I don't know. I don't know that much about like big buff guys.
He's like, I'll kill you, son of a bitch. And then he totally gets like hanged, from chains. And that's where he leaves him. And John jumps off the roof. He is saved. Yay!
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 Yay for John.
It's the final countdown.
Countdown. Da-na-na-na.
In a final, in a final, whatchamacallit, homage to Christmas, which I totally forgot it was Christmas until that tree fell down when John gets up out of the pond.
It being Christmas. There was a lot of references to it being Christmas. It's
I
a
know,
Christmas movie, mama.
But like every time they don't show Christmas, I'm like, wow, this is just action. But I guess that's the gimmick. We were talking about gimmicks earlier, so
Yes.
That was the gimmick.
that was the gimmick
Mama,
for
it's
this
Christmas.
one. Christmas. Merry Chrysler.
Yeah.
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Happy Crisis.
Man. That's Christine Sidelko, right? Is that how you
Yes.
say her name? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good one. It's iconic.
That's a good one. It's iconic.
Also,
anyway.
I'm shooketh.
I'm shooketh. You use that a lot.
Yeah.
You do.
Because it was.
He got tooketh.
I got tooketh by the shooketh.
Anyway, so are we? There's a face-off finally, right? Where
Yes.
eventually John McClane finally gets to Hans and his wife Holly, and
He has no tank
fucking John, huh?
He has no tank top.
And with no tank, he's finally shirtless, as God intended. And he is limp-bisking around.
Wait, is he actually shirtless? I thought he put the tank back on.
No, he's shirtless,
Not like
baby.
bisking.
Oh my god.
He's shirtless because.
Oh my god, he is.
Wait,
Mama,
yes,
that was
because
chest
there was a
hair.
comment. There was a comment Dolly made later that will become relevant. So
Oh my
he's
god, I
limp
got it.
biscuing around because he's fucking like still bleeding from his fucking foot. So
Oop.
he gets to Hans, and Hans is like, drop your fucking weapon. And so he does because his wife is there. But he has a gun taped to his sweaty back. And that's how I know he's shirtless, because it was his sweaty ass back that was taped to. So
was
even when he puts down
glistening.
his gun, it was glistening, mama.
Like Christmas.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
It's a
But he
Christmas movie,
shoots.
damn it.
He shoots because he had it hidden on his back. And Hans shooteth, and he falls out of the window and plummets to his death. Goodbye, Hans.
Goodbye.
Bye, Hans.
Goodbye,
Oh wait,
Hans.
I mean, it's a little bit more dramatic than that.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that everything's more dramatic than our summary.
I think at this point, the score, that was when I mentioned it, I was like,
So
ooh.
good.
Oof.
The score was, the music was so intense. This is an intense scene. It really is.
Yeah. Man, we could definitely watch this every year at Christmas.
Right.
And some people do. So
So here we are. We're all happy. We're good. The bad guy plummets to his death. So good. John comes out of the building with Holly. He locks eyes with Powell, and he's like,
Al.
"Bro, is that
My-
you?
Bro, is that my bro? Al?
Oh my god!" And they
And they hug.
they hug. It was so good. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, I forget. No, I wasn't crying yet.
Oh no, we'll get to that because that was something.
Continue.
What? That's not when you were crying?
No.
No, I'll tell you when she was crying, because eventually Carl, death murder boner, comes right back out for one final hurrah with his fucking gun ready to shoot at them. And they're about to shoot at John McClane, and they all duck, but fucking Al, even though he said he would never shoot again, in defense of his new best friend and comrade,
You're right. Okay.
shoots him. And Dahlia starts crying.
I emotionally blacked out for a second because I got
And-
really
and-
confused that she was crying.
Antonio's reaction to it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I couldn't
Just
see.
the confusion, the bewilderment on his face, and I'm like, comfort your friend, Antonio. And Antonio just doesn't even know where he is.
It's okay.
Crying over Die Hard.
It's okay.
It
now
was a
explain
good
why
movie. It
emotional.
gave me everything I needed, and I will talk about that in a second. But let's finish the movie.
God damn it! But Dahlia got emotional because he said he wouldn't shoot again, right, Dahlia?
He would never shoot it. He's like, that fucked me up. He's like, he made a mistake. He was like, and at that point, I was like, I'm just gonna stay a desk jockey. No big fucking deal. Like, I am at least safe. My wife is pregnant, having our first kid. I don't want this for me. And then, he had just that beautiful, beautiful blossoming relationship with John over the radio. And he's like, my boy. And he goes, Papa. And he kills Carl to death.
God, whimsy villain. Whimsy villain has feelings.
Yeah. So eventually, Holly and John are escorted home by Argyle, and then the end.
Ooh. Not before Holly gets one swipe at that reporter, though. Because
Oh yeah, the one that
go?
interviewed
What's
her
that thing
children.
That you say? Bad
What?
bitches do it best.
Bad bitches
Bad-
do it well.
Bad girls do
my
it
bad.
well.
Oh, my bad.
Bad girls do
I don't
it
know
well.
it.
Yeah, everything that I wanted to happen happened. Because I was like, hit him. Because the reporter's like,
Punch him.
can I get one final comment?
his
And then
lights
they're
out.
like, Papa, with their hands. That was perfect.
Oh, and that's the movie.
And that's
Die
the
Hard.
movie.
And that's on that.
That's
Live
on that.
fast, die hard, bad girls
Bad
do
girls
it well.
do it well.
I don't know what this reference is.
It's okay. I find live Moss, die Moss.
Live Moss, die Moss.
Oh, that's also a good title. So overall, like, how did you feel?
Well, you guys seem to really enjoy it. I enjoyed it. It's an action movie for sure. I loved Alan. I think Hans Gruber was amazing, and I enjoyed all of his fucking scenes. Yeah. I just thought that it was such a masculine man's action movie with all like the little American quirks of Bruce Willis being like
Too much
a
testosterone.
little-
And so we
It's
learned
not-
machismo does not feed me or my soul.
Yeah, and it's like it's not that I don't like it, but I don't feel drawn to it, which is why like I was just like, yeah, this is fun, but like,
But if you never watched it, you'd be like, nah, it's nothing.
yeah, that's kind of my thing, and maybe that's just my like not affinity for action movies. They're fun, but I also like don't need to watch them. I didn't need to watch this. There was
Understandable.
some, yeah. But what do y'all think?
I liked it. I actually, I'm a little surprised that I had never like sat down and watched the entirety of it as at any point in my life. I liked it, and honestly, where it is right now in my life, I'm like, I honestly could have not watched this ever and been okay. But if you grew up and this was something you had seen, I would definitely understand why people put this like on their roster for Christmas movies. Right up there next to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Right next to it. Just back to
Frosty
back,
the Snowman.
Christmas classic. Right?
Oh man, I love those movies. First of all, like I fucking love them to death. I bought the box set, and I don't know what happened to them, but that was my most treasured DVD collection I had.
Was the claymation Christmas
I
movies?
hope to have that again
holiday
one
movies?
time in my life. Maybe in 4K version, because now there's no like DVD players; they're all like Blu-ray. But I think too, like I'm not gonna say that I could go my whole life watching this movie. I would have at least liked to watch it once. And
I'm glad
I think
we watched it. Right.
I think that a person could, would want to watch this. But like personally, I am so glad that I watched it. I can't believe it took this long to do it. I don't think I was in ever the right place with the right people to watch it. So I think it was fantastic. It really surpassed my expectations. I already kind of walked in here thinking like, man, this is gonna be some bullshit like macho movie for men's that is not even gonna appeal to me. But honestly, it did. There was a lot of parts that I enjoyed that really clicked, like the nice little relationship story, strong main character. I love his no nonsenseness. I think there was like definitely a lot of testosterone in it, but it appealed to me in different ways. And then, the bromance, regretting my decisions, like the villainous bad guy, like all those things really like ticked all of my boxes. So overall, I love this movie. I would watch it again. I think I'm going to watch it for Christmas.
Aw, that's sweet. Look at this new tradition we've made for you.
We love
it.
it.
It's so good. 2 hours
What
though,
fun.
was a long time,
What
but
fun.
It's a long ass movie. That was a long ass movie.
It was quite long.
It was quite long.
It was long, and it might have just been like not so flavorful for how long it was, or like not a lot of like meat on the bones.
Not as spicy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not as much meat on the bones. It's a lot of action that, I don't know, does it go on too long for the action?
there was a part where they were shooting the glass, I think, when in that scene. I was like, this is going on a little too much. I'm kind of checking out.
Maybe it was also
Yeah.
like the elevator scenes, or like the shaft, like the air conditioning shaft, or the vents.
Oh yeah, when Carl
Vents.
was trying to
Like,
get him.
That's kind of a long draw to, him with the gun anchoring him, and how many times he was in a fucking shaft. That was...
Say shaft one more time.
I like to touch his shaft. Am I right,
I
everyone?
do love a good shaft.
Speaking of Hotcast.
Oh my god. First of all, Bruce Willis in this movie. Oof.
Hubba hubba.
Ooh. Ooh.
Alan Rickman popping in. That was like a
Ooh.
whole like maybe a religious
Ooh.
experience. I was like, Alan?
I was more attracted to Alan than I was to Bruce. I'm gonna say that.
He was looking
I'm gonna be bold.
good.
You were looking good.
88?
And he was
This
so
is
good.
Released in 1988.
Correct.
And he was such a good actor.
And he's
Not
so
everyone
good.
was a good
Superb.
actor, but Alan certainly was.
Alan definitely was, and Bruce Willis was Bruce Willis.
And then what was the name of the cop, the actor?
Reginald Van Johnson.
Yes, he is fantastic too. I
He
loved
was
him.
great.
He brought like the human element. Not that like Bruce Willis as John McClane couldn't, but like like he had a little backstory. Like it was nice. It was nice. He
Val
rounded
Johnson.
out the hard
Mhm.
edges of John McClane. I love that.
Absolutely.
I don't know about the wife though. I'm gonna make that comment. I don't think she was that hot.
I didn't think
think-
she was hot either. But you know what? Maybe that's kind of cool, I guess.
Bruce
That's
and
all right.
Alan.
She was a homely woman.
And Bruce liked that.
Yeah.
Maybe
That was what Bruce wanted to fight for.
maybe there's hope for me.
You are not homely. You shut your face.
I'm a
Bad
know.
girls do it well.
do it well.
I really want you
Anyway.
guys to just play this fucking song, because I don't
we
think
will.
I've ever
We'll
heard
play
it.
it up. We'll play it
After.
up.
Post-recording.
Speaking of soundtrack/score, Dolly, you did make a comment about it was being intense and it was nice.
Yeah. When I heard the music, I think it definitely made an impact. And also all the Christmas songs that they had, I enjoy that a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
Even
Every
the
time
rap
there was like a
one.
little tiny one. Yeah, at the very beginning where it was like, this is a Christmas music.
And then there was like jingle bells all up in my rap about
Yeah.
Santa Claus losing his wallet.
Yeah.
Oh, losing your wallet. I can relate.
Too soon.
Too soon. Hey, I went and grabbed that fucker.
Costume design/location. It was
That
80s
tank
to
top
shit.
doing the fucking most. That,
That
tank top
Take it off.
carried for a goddamn costume. That's a costume. Just a
That's a
dirty ass
costume.
tank top.
Can you imagine how it smelled?
I don't want to know.
It honestly probably just smelled really dusty, because I don't think it was like anything disgusting. It just
This bitch dusty.
it's just dusty, maybe a little grimy.
musty,
But it wasn't. It probably
crusty.
wasn't. It's what was it, like 6 hours worth of work?
That's blood, bro. That's other people's blood too.
That's other people's blood too. Yeah, yeah.
Where
I
did you
mean,
get other people's blood on him?
when he was like fighting
He's
when
punching-
he
he
fell
was
down the
punching
stairs with the
people.
first guy?
And he was punching people.
It's
too.
not like he was like cutting their throats and bathing in it or something like that.
No,
I
but
thought
But
a
there
lot.
was
He
other
got
people's
bloodied.
blood on it.
Yeah, he got
Okay.
bloodied.
It's like, a couple.
And you
of
know-
Anyway, it's
punches.
This tank
iconic
top-
costume.
It's
It
like
is a great costume. Bruce Willis always be in tank tops.
his tank top. He was wearing that from New York to California. That's like a 5-hour flight. So he was already.
Oh.
He was also pretty saucy at the beginning. He legitimately was like washing his pits in the
was.
fucking bathroom.
Yeah, I mean when you
Oh,
come.
he reeked, bro. He probably fucking reeked.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Memorable quotes. This is a very quotable movie, I will say.
I mean, there's the one. The
I
one
think-
that's in all of them.
Yeah. I will refrain from saying yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, because that one was a good one, actually. I love when that came in play. I love the banter when they were talking about him not revealing his name, and he was like, "You're a cowboy," and he's like, I'm more partial to like Roy Rogers because of the rhinestones or something, and I was like, lol,
The sequence.
the sequence.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like that a lot.
Yeah. I got a couple that I wrote down. And I think this one was one that we all enjoyed. Was when, I don't know it was Bruce that said this. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna cook you. I'm gonna eat you.
A cannibal moment.
Actual cannibal.
In my Die Hard, cannibalism, man.
In my Die Hard, more likely than you think.
Cannibalism. It always comes back. It always
What
comes
an
back to...
insult.
Whew.
I'm gonna cook you and I'm gonna eat you.
I'm going to
Okay.
kill you. I'm going to cook you. And I'm going to eat you.
Yes.
That's
so
a
I
threat.
wrote that one because we all screamed when it was said. And then I like this one. I think Al was asking him how he was feeling, and he goes, "Pretty fucking underappreciated, Al." And I'm like, I felt that. I felt that so much.
It was good.
That was a quote from the soul.
Yeah. Chicken soup from the soul. You got one, Antonio?
When Hans went and was like threatening Mr. Takagi, and he was like, "I'm going to count to 3. There will not be a 4." And he's like, "Yeah, do what you're gonna say."
You would like that. So, to round it out, I know I know Dahlia's. I know you would recommend this movie, Dahlia.
I
right?
would.
I am fine. So, honestly, I would say you don't have to watch it. So, we're a 50-50 split now, Antonio. You want to break it up?
I think everyone should watch this movie once. I definitely
Wow.
think those little fucking machismo groups that are like, "Oh, we fucking love Die Hard," it's not undeserved. There are some movies that I'm like, I'm good. Pulp Fiction is one of them. We talked about
Oh, yeah,
this.
for sure.
I was
for
like,
sure.
I'm so good on
I
that
would-
nonsense. But
yeah.
fucking shit, I'll
That's
watch
true.
I will watch this 3 times in a row
I would watch this 3
versus
times
Pulp
in a row.
Fiction once again.
You know what?
Absolutely.
I will fucking
I agree.
co-sign that. I will agree with that.
I'll sit here and be like, yeah, cool. This is fun. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
this part. But,
This was so much more
The
fun
first
than
time,
fucking
yeah.
watching Pulp Fiction.
yeah, it deserves its type. It 100%. And you know what? I do believe this is a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas
Done.
movie. Absolutely.
100%. I don't know what the rest of those movies got going for it, but this is a Christmas movie.
I don't know. I looked at the synopsis of the other ones.
And none of them seem
At
to
the
be like
very least-
holiday-esque.
I absolutely would recommend this movie. You should at least watch it once in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the magic happen. Watch it unfold.
Watch it, watch it for the first time with a boyfriend. Or a really masculine person in the relationship.
Like me. And
That's
yet,
you.
still,
and
I
yet,
didn't like it.
yet still sitting here and saying no to this
Nar.
film.
I mean, that should tell you.
It's a cornerstone.
I should tell you. It's just It's just such an action movie.
Oh
It's
my
okay
God.
though. Whatever. Well.
Well,
We can totally leave on that unless you have last statements. No?
no.
All right.
Happy Crisis. We'll see you for the next.
Happy Chrysler.
Happy
See
Chrysler
you next
one.
year.
Nope.
And-
See you for the next Christmas one.
And this concludes this episode of Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye, losers.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!